Hello, everyone. Welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 32. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Getting Brie Larson and Brie Olson confused. Whoops.
Ooh, and that's a good confusion.
What's you gonna avenge now?
Maybe I should go to the ATM for more information. Wait, wrong ATM. Steve needs to pour himself a little bit of...
I'm drinking air.
Crystal clear beer, another Pepsi endeavor.
I'm surprised soda companies haven't gotten in on that yet.
It'll be a sour just because fuck us.
Fresca the beer.
Emily's family loves Fresca, actually.
Funny you mentioned that. A certain popular podcast host got married weekend before last, and it was selling everybody on vodka and Fresca. It's like, I never heard of that one.
What was it called? Frodka?
It is now. Ferris Frodka.
Ferris Frodka. I like it.
Ferris Frodka. Ferris Frodka. Na, na, na.
I don't know the words. Cheers.
Cheers, microphone.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Steve, tell everybody what we're drinking today.
All right. What we have here today is an Ommegang Three Philosophers from 2016. Where heaven met earth and stayed a while to ponder your thoughts. Once this beer was a dream, not quite finished, like a symphony missing a line, a quadruple for nights of deep thinking, and we thought it was perfectly fine. But we wanted so much more, so we pondered a while. We brewed on, but our minds would not cease. Then one fellow appeared with, by chance, cherry beer and eureka, a dark masterpiece. With three philosophers, we unite the caramel and chocolate notes of our malty quadruple ale with a serendipitous Cherry Creek for complexities that invite your deepest consideration.
I don't think I ever tasted the creek aspect of it, to be honest with you.
That would be the cherry notes that you detect in it.
Okay, well, now it's settled a little bit.
Now I've read it, it's like, well, yes, I do have the chocolate caramel and cherry notes amongst it.
I didn't at first because I had quite a bit of...
Otherwise, this shit that's good.
I had quite a bit of head on my first sip. Giggity.
He said.
Okay, there it is. I got it. And I'm also used to drinking it a little bit colder. I kind of put it in the fridge a little later than normal, but...
it was up against the air conditioning being replaced today, too.
Yes, so we are... so the good news, everybody, is that Steve and I are mighty comfortable up here. Bad news is it cost me $6,870 to get my upper air conditioning fixed, and the downstairs is going to probably need it in 2 years. Start saving now, kiddos. When I'm 35, I'll be dropping another 7G. But I got to tell you, though, I think out of human history, the number one invention of all time has been refrigeration of any sort.
Did you feel compelled to watch Dogma just for that scene when Matt Damon the Demon walks in and say... No, it was Jason, dude from My Name is Earl. Like
no,
it's like no greater convenience, no greater sin greater than central air.
Yes, some Dogma, yes. What is his fucking name? Jason. Seaman.
No.
We could have had him on.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, see if he's as shy on the mic as he is in person. But opposites attract, I suppose. Steve and I are we going to do it in 2 weeks? Or we can't do it in 2 weeks.
Since you're going to be gone then.
We can do it when I get back.
That would work.
Because I don't have any gigs. So we can do a weekend where you wouldn't even have to be anywhere.
What?
Exactly. And we can try to do a big one that Sunday.
Like when you get back? On the...
Shit, no, we can't do that. That is my day of my anniversary. Hey, Emily, for your anniversary, I got you 3 drunk bearded men. Maybe Saturday, and maybe on location somewhere. I don't know. Had to investigate your laptop sitch and get all the goods on it.
It's old and heavy, but it works.
Say that about a lot of things, I suppose. This is now that you said cherry, I'm not going to be able to untaste the Cherry Creek from this beer. Ommegang is great. I got this one, I guess, about a year and a half ago. It was in the cheap beer pile. that we all know and love at your local grocery store, where you have the buggies of cheap reduced beer.
Yeah, that's where I got the Sam Adams Rebel the other day at the Food Lion down the hill from the Aldi just up the hill. And Mint Hill was $12 for a 15-pack.
Cannot beat that. Steve's the connoisseur of cheap booze.
at least pretending to have some taste about it too once in a while.
Yeah, it's got to be cheap and good. It can't just be. I mean, my cheap go-to. I think we talked about those guilty pleasure beers. I mean, if I just want to get beer, I'll just get High Life.
Like, where the hell do I find this PBR Old Tankard anymore? That was the best.
I never had that before.
That was free and better than worth it at one of the art shows sponsored by PBR years ago when they had bought a house in Noda that was an art gallery. Don't see that sort of cool stuff anymore.
Frankly, a lot of those houses in Noda look like art galleries,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest of them look. It's such a weird mix driving in a recently gentrified area.
Yeah, it reminds me of the area surrounding NC State University.
Yes,
that it's both parts Hood and the Ritz all at once.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, though. Quick, name another taco song.
I wouldn't even be able to identify the band that did put on the Ritz.
Hold on, Steve. I forgot to name this file so I can just hit save and save. So, Steve, keep everybody entertained while I do this for like 10 seconds.
Well, good news, bad news, folks. I am in the process of ordering more Raspberry Pi kits, so if you wish to usurp your neighbor's SNES Classic Mini, act now. Oh, wait. I am ordering spares, so talk to me off air. AJ wants to play Gran Turismo's 3 and 4. Bad news, those don't play on a Pi. Good news, they play on a PlayStation 2, of which I can't find the damn power supply. So he has said kit without power supply and without a memory card. Oh, grid. So what you up to after this?
So Steve is our pie dealer, if you will, for this, at least this area, and very generously, I might add, for you cats and kittens who don't understand how electronics work, like me, unless it has to do with like that sort of electronics.
Yeah, musical electronics. That's out of my whatever the hell a wheelhouse is. I just call it a garage.
TV wheelhouse. Hey, Steve.
I'm back here with my beer.
Attaboy, Ace. The car. What was the other? They had Ambiguously Gay Duo, and then they had...
the Dead Presidents Association.
Who? It was a comic by Robert Spiegel.
Robert Schmeigel. With a cartoon by Robert Schmeigel and the credits of Saturday Night Live.
Well, I think the dude who still announces he's still alive, isn't he?
Don Pardo passed away a couple years ago at like 97. In dog years, he was very dead.
Well, he sounded very old even when he wasn't very old. He just had that old timer radio announcer.
Who is it? Dana Gould. Saw his special from '95. Even at the time, he still had this gravelly voice at 30.
I haven't listened to very much of Dana Gould.
This wound up being the special that had the story of the moth when that was taking over FaceSpace. So I posted that up.
That's right. That's the one. Where it goes in his ear. Yeah. He should have told. It's too bad he can't go on. This is not happening on Comedy Central and do that.
I think that's still going. Only it's hosted by Roy Wood Jr. now instead of Ari Shaffir.
It is
because at the turn of 2016 and the 17, Ari decided to go backpacking through South Asia for several months.
Yeah.
Then he got back and he's just kind of doing his own thing. And Roy Wood's been an awesome host as well. And I know him from Wait, Don't Tell Me.
That's
the other gateway drug in the NPR. Thanks, Car Talk.
Yes.
It's really strange seeing that show still going in some way, shape, or form. Like, well, it's evident that these are old recordings they're playing with because ain't nobody still rocking an 86K car. Sorry, Malaise Motors.
If I get a K car, it will say Special K on the license plate. Somehow, some way.
I think you have to donk it and make it Special K serial themed.
while I'm not completely opposed to it,
Best bad idea you've heard all day.
it's still donking is still a better trend than stancing because at least you can still drive the car. And now I'm sorry, people say no, it's completely safe. Cool, go take it out in pouring down rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, go ahead and do that. Keep it straight, and see how squirrely you get.
Go take it around Steel Creeks, how you like them cratered roads.
I love their groceries, cratered roads.
Speaking of cheap beer, I haven't been there in a while, but they even had their house brand stuff that was really good.
We had a couple house brands on here, didn't we?
Not from Trader Joe's. I haven't been there in a long time. Apparently, they're owned by the same company as Aldi, but ever since I discovered Aldi, I haven't been to Trader Joe's since that's also way less convenient now. When I still lived in Ashford Green, that was much easier to go to.
True, but still not incredibly easy to get in and out of at Trader Joe's, especially now. Like I haven't been. To
or
that
have you been
side, so.
the one downtown?
No,
That is the worst parking deck in the city.
That's a bold statement, sir. Because
there's the Target side of Metropolitan that you can actually get in and out of, and then there's the Beast Buy, Trader Joe's, Marshall's, Staples, Max Depot one that I think I'm on my fourth life now after having played Frogger through there.
I forgot Emily had a Christmas party for her office one year at one of those older towers downtown, and we took the Jeep.
Does that mean it's been bulldozed since?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Welcome to Charlotte, where history comes to die.
The parking deck was so narrow, I barely got the Jeep in and out of a spot. Like it's that, and like driving it was very low,
which is funny because that's not a big car by today's standards.
It's a very narrow car too. Like you don't realize how narrow the Jeep. I've got it. I've seen Emily and I went to Pizza Peel, and I parked, and I thought I was going to have to like suck in my dad's gut to get out of my. And I got out just fine. I was like, well, it looked a lot narrow, but the Jeep's like super damn narrow because like where your left hip ends, I mean that's basically where it ends. There's not a whole lot of extraneous room. Do you know who was on JRE yesterday?
Jeselnik?
Yeah, I listened to it today.
I haven't heard that one yet. I was more distracted by the return of the smoking tire with wedding stories.
Yes. How was that?
That was fun.
Okay, cool.
So it was like his buddy that's been in Dubai forever and a day and his new wife on, and Zach was on. There was some crazy shit went on in New York during his absence, and I was like, oh yeah, he's back. He's been looking for a Lexus. Well, good news, found him a car. Bad news, it had sold over the weekend. He's been looking for an 02 to 05 Lexus GS 430.
Those are pretty.
Found one in Palm Desert, California, so at least the correct side of the country, if not necessarily close.
Right.
He emails me back saying, thanks, but it's sold over the weekend. 67,000 miles, $9,000 in silver.
Wow.
He's trying to find the lowest mileage one out there, and apparently they exist beneath 70,000 miles, but they're real tough to come by.
So is he trying to go $1 million on
No,
another one?
He wants that for probably replacement for the Mercedes convertible, and two, whenever Hannah's done working with Facebook, returning to LA so that she can drive. He says she learned how to drive stick, did well at it, and wishes to never do this again.
It seems.
I can imagine Kalen doing the same thing. Like tries it, likes it, never wants to do this again.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, she already won't ride in my car since I still haven't replaced gotten the airbags replaced.
She won't ride in it.
Well, since in the case of an accident, if she's not driving, she's in the affected airbag, and now I've probably had 50 of those notices, so I really should look into this. Here's looking at you, Liberty, GMC, Buick, whatever. Like, go ahead. Like, and call him back, like, can you get me a part? Rather than, went through my information again, and again, and again, and again. Still nothing?
Ugh.
We'll just hold off till the end of June. Like, well, maybe they can finally get the part, so they have a loaner, and take that to Charleston.
That's a good idea, actually.
It's like, congratulations, you get an Acadia for your loaner. Like, great, double-sized car.
And half the gas mileage. DeMuro did the new Ram $2,500 today.
85 grand for that fucking thing.
85. Oh, by the way,
I only saw the headline. Like, what in the yuckity fuck?
engine choices.
Need more.
Oh, yes, I do. Engine choices were twin turbo diesel V6, 450 horse, 850 torque, or twin turbo turbo diesel V8 with 502 horse, 1,000 torque, and a payload and a towing capacity of 35,000 pounds. So, a fully loaded semi-tractor trailer weighs 45,000 pounds. You're talking about a Dodge Ram pickup towing
something
a big rig.
which ostensibly does not require CDL, almost up there.
It is.
I think a semi was at 53K.
DeMuro quoted it at 45,
I mean,
so I don't know if it was like they were carrying mattresses.
Something way bigger. Yeah.
But
those gel ones that fold into the box, and like once they're open, you can never get them back in the box.
yes, every fitted sheet ever made. It'd be a great death metal band name, be Folding Fitted Sheets. But on the window sticker of said truck, it says, estimated EPA mileage not available.
I think with it being, I think over 8,000 pounds, it's not required to have mileage ratings.
Correct.
So I think the Dodge Challenger is next to be exempt from that.
Cars are getting super, but the heaviness, is it coming from? It's coming from
a lot of it's the safety that,
yeah.
you know, how much physics defiance that you need to have in these things, and the additional airbags and the additional computers and whatever have you.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a wonder of modern technology that, you know, the new Corolla hatchback, that's the new version of my car, weighs but 200 or 300 pounds more.
And it's not bigger.
I think it's a little bit smaller car. I know the RS Scion IM is definitely smaller.
Yes.
And I think this one is probably still at least not as tall as mine.
It is surprisingly tall.
I mean, hell, even the Vibe Matrix going from first gen to second gen lost interior volume, mostly with extra crash protection, extra airbags, and those.
It's got bigger on the outside and smaller on the inside.
That's what one of my coworkers went from a 05 Matrix to a Kia Soul because he needed the extra space.
For all his hamsters.
Yes.
Yes.
And probably still better mileage in it, too, since he's commuting from Moxville, Colin's hometown, to North Lake. That's an hour.
Ew, that's not a fun hour either.
No.
You're gonna go down 77 and save 25 miles, but it's gonna take you just as long to do that as it would to go backwards.
You either take 77 to 150 or 85 to 601 to 801.
Either way,
it's been a while since I've done that, and you know, if only we could get Colin on the show, he could tell you every other which way to do it. Like, I know I've experimented with a number of these.
And he's completely uninterested in coming on.
Last I knew.
Unfortunately, we were going to have a guest today.
It's not like he's going to be camera shy because there's a camera involved here.
Mr. Brian Layton was going to join us, our favorite resident cat man that's not me in Mint Hill. But he has my cat number triple plus one. But he's fostering 5. He has 5, and they foster 5. So he was going to come, but somebody voluntold him to do a project today that he was not expecting. So fornicate those folks, and he is sorely missed today, but he said he still wants to be on here badly. So maybe 33. Maybe we can get him on for 33.
I think the race is now going to be on between him and Sean.
I messaged Sean a couple days ago. I was like, if you want to. He never responded to me. He must be busy working out at YMCA.
Another dance. Well, I've told you about Chris Hand doing the song breakdowns.
Yes.
One of which was the YMCA.
Yes.
It's awesome. That was way more sophisticated than you expect it to be.
There's a lot of... Beato does the same thing. There's songs that you think are just fucking bubblegum cookie cutter, and they're not like it. But the thing too is, and Beato brings this up, like a lot of you guys message me and say, "There's no way Kurt Cobain knew that music theory like you're talking about," and he goes, "You're right. Nominally, he doesn't, but when writers write something, like for instance, like I play by ear, and you know what sounds
That's
good.
The worst way to play piano,
says you. I guess my sick head banging going." That like Night of the Roxbury. You know what sounds good. Like if I'm writing and I'm playing a riff and I play the note that's like, ugh, that doesn't sound good, then it was probably out of key. And I don't really know key. Somebody's like, play me a song in the key of C. I'd look at them like they just grew an arm out of their eyeball. I don't like. How about you play something? I'll play along with you, and then I'll figure out what notes sound good with it, which is basically I just need to sit down and learn keys because I already kind of know what's going on without actually knowing what's going on. It sounds very much like being an engineer sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, been there, tried that, was bad at that too.
What are we good at? Good at this. I'm good at drinking.
Drinking, talking. I can draw pictures.
I
can make you a mosaic that turned into your album cover.
Yes, you did. Can you draw a picture of us drinking and talking?
I'm not good at drawing people, though.
Yes, that's another tattoo thing.
And
I'll never get.
A thing that harkens back to the middle school days. That all right, I'll try drawing us, and then somehow we have really giant boobs. So there's that. Our racks are going to be amazing.
I always laugh at the Family Guy episode of you play. What are you doing? I played your guy because you were busy. Well, fine, I didn't want to play anyway. Well, good, it worked out for everybody. I'm going to draw boobs on the Etch-a-Sketch. Go ahead, they always come out square.
Gotta work those diagonals, man.
Oh, yes. It's good for the soul. So is Novocaine, evidently.
The Oingo Boingo album?
From the Eagles.
Yeah, that too. Look, good for your soul is one of theirs. Like, well, sure I mentioned that last episode. It was like, that's my 80s obsession right now.
Yes. Did you see the shot-by-shot remake of You Spin Me Right Round by Jimmy Fallon and Paul Rudd?
Do it now?
Yeah. They did a shot-by-shot remake of the video.
So which one of them is going to be the next plastic surgery disaster?
It was Rudd. But Rudd looks fucking great to be that. He's like, he and Keanu Reeves drank from whatever fountain of youth out there in Hollyweird.
Get a plane to St. Aug's? Duh.
That's true. I do have a bottle of Fountain of Youth water from St. Augustine downstairs, so maybe we should try it, even though we look good for our ages. We look good for
That said, though, the folks at Costco have no tact. Like, I was like, present my ID, and I can't see anybody's watching. It's like, yeah, you're not that young. I'm like, dick. I was like, oh, wait, I'm picking up a 24-pack of Stone beers and some Chianti. Yeah, that's not an amateur move.
No, not really.
The Hannibal Lecter noise. Like, every time I see Chianti, it's like, well.
Every time.
It's been 30 years, but yeah, that's never getting old.
Did your folks-in-law enjoy the wine that I purveyed for them and gave to you that you gave to them?
I'll get back to you on that, because since then they've been out of town between D.C., upstate New York, and Rhode Island. They should be back sometime next month. Hey, that's closer than you think, because that's...
tomorrow.
Yeah, or sometime thereafter. But yeah, that was going to be a cooking wine. Kellen's an awesome cook. She gets it from her pops.
We need to do more, maybe like once a month, pick somebody's house.
More rock out with the cookout, because that was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Different dishes and just pick somebody's house to do it at. I can host one time, you host, and then Kirkman can't host. He lives on Jupiter.
No, with enough heads up.
True.
Yeah, it's like, what's the one Saturday you're not doing anything?
It needs a lot of heads up.
That was a fun house party at his place back in January, but yeah, it's right at an hour from here.
Yeah, and I didn't go because I had I had one of those weird back-to-back show times where I had one up in the mountains and then one down in South Carolina, the opposite way of his house.
Yeah, that was the middle of everywhere that you're going.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I just don't want to get back in there and do that again. This Friday we are back at Laconia Ale Works up in Sparta.
Madness.
I'm going to stop back at that brewery up there I stopped at, and I'm going to pester them about music some more. And then Saturday, we're back at Southern Range in Monroe, which is always fun. Because their Imperial Cookie Dough Stout is awesome. It is like drinking melted cookie dough. It's incredibly orgasmic. I'm getting a little bit of a semi thinking about it right now. But I digress. Steve, I'm going to Chicago soon. So
Send you, but I can't take you. Or sorry, but I can't take you. I had to look up the lyrics of that the other day. I was trying to get travel tips and like, oh yeah, go visit a friend. Like, it's not my trip I'm plotting for. I'm trying to get ideas for you going. And like, you never met my friend Logan that I've known since 9th grade.
As long as his name is not Paul, then last name.
No. And this Logan is not even a male.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever met a female Logan.
I think she's the only one I'm aware of. She's a cool chick.
Brian Baker's wife's name is Michael. That's the only.
Wait, that's a Euro trip line.
Yeah, that's the only lady Michael I've met. And then I went to school with a girl named Ryan.
Knew a couple of them.
She was desperately pretty, desperately tall, and desperately weird. But she lives in San Francisco now. So those puzzle pieces fit together pretty well.
Either she's an artist or a tech giant.
Yes, or lesbian.
Or homeless.
A lesbian homeless tech giant.
One of these things is not like the other.
There's funny, some people that are living in the Bay Area are working at Google and live out of their car because they still can't afford housing. And therein is why capitalism is destroying us all. Steve, I'm going to Chicago soon.
What are those other big cities?
Chicago beer and music. So mic.
something Goose Island. Never mind, they're owned by whatever have you, but they do sponsor one of my favorite music podcasts, Sound Opinions / radio shows.
That's right.
Which is fun to argue with if they say something I don't like.
Forbidden Root is near our hotel. Might go to there.
That's a pretty rad name. So they make spiked ginger ale?
I hope. Hopewell Brewing. Hopefully not like the high school here. Oh, Moody Tongue Brewing. That was the other good one. Moody
That's
Tongue.
That's a funny name.
Band of Bohemia Brewing.
Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me. For me. For me. And that's why Freddie made the big bucks.
Vice District Brewing. That looks interesting. If I hit this mic one more fucking time. There's Forbidden Root. You got Goose Island. Hopewell Motor Row Brewing.
That sounds right up your alley.
Yes. Corridor Brewery and Provisions. Moody Tongue looks rad on the inside. Esteban. That looks neat.
Cool.
I like that. What's the other band of Bohemia? Half Acre Brewing.
That's what's on my lawnmower for my half-acre lawn. Oh, thanks, Brian, but you couldn't be here. I think the creature that's on that sticker is what I like to call an octopus.
That kind. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the owl with the tentacles.
Yes.
It was like, Archer is coming back, and this time Krieger's a robot. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yes. Lagunitas. I did not know that. California-based Lagunitas Brewing opened a brewery, distribution center, and tap room just west of the trendy Pilsen neighborhood in Chicago. Lagunitas Chicago became the largest
they're
brewery.
making a bunch of Pilsners? Because that's what...
I hope not.
Pilsner...
Revolution Brewing. Half Acres again. Low Res Brewing.
Do they have nothing but 8-bit Nintendos in there?
Jesus, I hope so.
Or VHS players?
I really hope so. Beer names are reflective of the owner's former careers, such as the Belgian-style Damon Golden Ale and Memory Fault, a Scottish strong ale. Okay. Empirical Brewery.
I think I got Memory Fault.
Alarmist Brewery. That's cool.
I'm sorry, I forgot this one. Finch Brewing Company, makers of the Fascist Pig Pale Ale.
Nice.
They redid the artwork. It's not as good now.
Alarmist Brewing has family family friendly.
I don't know if we should get him on. What's
Well-
your car history, Gray?
Okay.
The Grand Dammit and the Jeep.
Yes. The Alarmist is family friendly, welcoming kids who are treated to free goldfish crackers and juice boxes.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Steve, I want to go. Will you be my son? Great Central Brewing.
Yeah, I've got that Benjamin Button syndrome going on. What's up?
Yes. Metropolitan Brewing. 5 Rabbit Cerveceria.
Gesundheit.
5 Rabbit Cerveceria. Okay. Have
you been to the new Salute?
I haven't.
Go. They wallpapered it in an old English to Spanish dictionary.
Very nice.
As well as the requisite Mexican wrestler artwork on the walls. It's fantastic.
It goes very appropriately with the music played, which is all 80s and 90s, a gangster rap.
I'm going to say, they need to step it up once in a while. Play some Brujeria, because that's the only Mexican metal band I can think of, because the dude from Fear Factory's in it.
Well, and you could go Sepultura, but that's Portuguese. Which is more Spanish than English is.
Yes.
There's Finch Brewing.
Go ahead. Name another country occupying a bunch of Spain's coastline.
True. They also Finch Brewing also provides a perfect canvas for their awesome artwork for their brews, such as the Skull Hammer and the Sloth Overlord. And that's going on there.
I think I know what my new religion is. I am a Sloth Overlordist.
Let us pray later. That looks like the major one. So I've only really had stuff from Goose Island and Lagunitas.
You might have had a Finch somewhere in there. They also made a Taco Cat. A beer you can say backwards, so that's Taco Cat, which is the best sour I've ever had. Thanks, Wine Vault.
You can get those in Thailand.
I think I get those off of Albemarle Road.
Also, yes. Steve, crank it open while I go through.
Oh shoot! I had like more car swag and another bottle opener to bring up here too.
Well,
this starting earlier threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna get a bigger table.
Disorganized is the name of our game.
That's the best way to do it. By the way, the Omegang that we popped open before, the cork popped out and hit one of my bass strings and made a nice little dong.
Go ahead, repeat that.
I don't wish to do that. I don't want to mess up the fin. Out of all the guitars to get hit, that would be the one I wouldn't care as much if something happened to.
Yeah. Since that's not your show guitar and that's not your new toy or the other new toy.
I know, I'm so... By the way, kids, I don't believe...
Is that base of PRS, or do they make PRSs?
Pari Smith does make basses, but that's a Yamaha.
Okay.
They
made my engine. That's why Pagnotta wears a Yamaha badge.
Yep, Yamaha makes everything. You can get a Yamaha clarinet, a bass, a guitar, a jet ski, a motorcycle, an engine. You can get anything Yamaha. And actually, all of it's pretty fucking good. I'm usually of the opinion that if you make everything or you're a restaurant that has everything, you don't really have anything. I'll make an exception for Yamaha.
Did you see the joke that is guy walking to a Mitsubishi automotive dealer, asking the dealer, hey, how can I help you? Hey, do you sell TVs? That grew up with a 19-inch Mitsubishi color television from 1986.
Yes.
And then in its last legs, the top inch of the screen didn't function. It just become like all morphed into this bright bar at the top of it. But that was a solid TV.
Mine was I forget what kind I had, but I had the old style projection TV. Had the big fat back and it weighed 6 million pounds.
But it was a 50-inch. I think one of those is now living at Deals Minus, and
rest in peace.
I think if hey, they're closed, does that mean everything in there is free? It's like, all right, so if you want some goofy hats, some blouses, a surfboard, and a big ass old TV, it's all right there for the taking, man. Yeah, the local, this isn't a Goodwill consignment type shop, kick the bucket. It's like, well, it was neat, but it was always a little strange going in that one. Like, well, good thing you're not looking for anything in particular.
I still never went, but I did think about going in there and just looking and see if they had any old amplifiers or something that they didn't know were worth money that really were.
How'd you find out they were closing? Because it was last
I
time
drove
you
by
told me.
and went and saw store closing. I went, oh.
I drove by there today and saw it is now for lease, but there's still stuff in the store.
There is. Steve, what are we drinking?
A Stone IPA.
Please don't. You don't have to read the novel on the back. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, so I can tell you, this was value price at $3.63 for a Tall Boy 22.
Very nice. Ooh, that's right. That's a good one. Stone doesn't do wrong.
True.
Oh wow. Okay, Steve, you're gonna like this episode.
But was this one made in California or made in Richmond? It's labeled as both.
Maybe they took hops from one area. I don't know.
Hops from Germany. What is it, Sam Adams? Oh wait, that's the other beer that we could have.
Well, cheers to some IPAs from Stompas.
Si, senor.
And that's just as magical as you would think it would be.
Yep.
So, Steve, we did Chicago beer, and that didn't take as long as you would think it would because there's really not that much of it up there.
Just trying to think, like, all right, out of those, what's your favorite? It's like Bourbon County and the Fascist Pig. Yeah,
that's you're not going to deep throw on those two.
Three Floyds is adjacent, but that's still going to be an hour from where you are, so don't detour to go there. But see if they do at least have the Gumball Head on tap, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or in store.
Could do that. I'll
so you could fly back with some. That'd be rad.
I'll definitely do some brewery tours, and I'll be enjoying them probably more than Emily will be. But so Steve,
what? She's not going to go beer for beer with you this time? That's a new tradition.
She has, but I don't know of. Well, I don't know.
All you need are some Maltese Falcons. You'd be good.
I mean,
anything that's between a Red Oak and a Yingling's will be fair game for.
Redling. List of famous bands and artists from Chicago, Steve.
Local H, Chicago Transit Authority that became Chicago, Ministry.
Kanye West. Smashing Pumpkins.
Hey.
Chicago.
I didn't know where they're from. Okay.
Yep, Smashing Pumpkins were from Chicago. Formed in 1988.
KMFDM was another industrial band. Like, they're made of German people, but I think they got together in '84 in Chicago.
And, of course, the band Chicago. Sam Cooke, R&B singer.
Disturbed.
Are you looking at the same list as me? Ranker?
Whatever. Yep. Just whatever the blurb was on Google beforehand. Yes. Common. Loved his work in Smoking Aces.
That's Muddy Waters. R. Kelly.
Wilco.
Moving on.
Wilco, are they now called Speedway?
Yes, and they have decent hot dogs. I've never heard of Wilco. Experimental rock. That could mean a number of things. What in the fudge?
I got an advertisement.
You did. I did too, but it's much smaller. Fallout Boy.
No.
Earth, Wind,
I have
and Fire.
always hated Fallout Boy. Then I finally saw that Simpsons episode that name was from. Like, I'm about to laugh and cry off the couch at the same time.
I will say, though, Patrick Stump actually has a decent voice, even though his music sucks. Ministry.
Yeah, like I said.
Doom, metal, and new wave. That's what they're listed as. New wave?
Listen to their early catalog, yes. Like, by about 88, it got heavy, and by about 95, it got unlistenable. That said, I've seen them a couple of times.
Interesting. Lupe Fiasco, hip-hop. Survivor?
What?
Survivor's from Chicago. Formed by Jim Pederick, and I believe he's the singer, and he did the Real Men of Genius ads in Budweiser.
Nice. Richard Marx, one-hit wonder.
Richard Marx had more than one hit. Which hit were you thinking about?
That one song of his. Something where you're standing. Kind of breathy like this.
Whatever I'll be right here waiting for you. That should have known better than to fall in love with you. Should have known better than to fall in love.
Pretty sure getting his catalog mixed up with Bryan Adams. Whoops.
I mean, they're one and the same.
Interchangeable Gringos. That's your new.
That's
your new
great
band name. I think that episode title.
It
I don't know how
absolutely
you're doing
will be.
these, but
It is. By the way, if I don't write out the whole word, sometimes I don't know what it means, and then I don't have any context.
INTLGREEN.
Veruca Salt.
Rower.
Yeah. I want to fight that Seether. By the way, Seether did a cover of Seether, and it sounds great. It's really good.
The band?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, they had to change their name because Seether's from South Africa. Mm-hmm. They had to change their name. They were originally Sarin Gas, and they had to change it because the record label was like, there were a lot of gas attacks and bombings, and they were like, you should probably change it. So they made it Seether, which is still a good name, actually.
My browser has crashed.
Twista.
Huh? The game?
With an A, not an ER. Kind of like the way they spell their homies, and we can't say that word.
Brothers.
So
you can say brothers all you want.
So I'm going to let you listen to a little bit of Twista. And Twista is called that because he is
This website's garbage.
fast. He is a fast... All right. He's a speed rapper. Like, really fucking fast.
Amphetamines did him well.
Twist is actually good. You would actually enjoy it. By the way, I let everybody at work listen to that Organized Confusion track, and they were like, this is fucking dope. I was like, I know, man.
So you take out the store jukebox yet?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Donny Hathaway, I'd heard that as a blues guy. Resurrection Band? Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock is from Chicago.
Sure sucks rad.
Yeah. Rufus? Disco? Smooth Soul? Don't know. DeBrat.
The rapper.
Yes. Okay, go.
Tortoise. They're rad.
The Jesus Lizard. Noise Rock. I love that.
I've heard of that one. Trouble. Doom metal. Heavy metal.
Yes.
Okay,
the C and Cake. Jazz and post-rock.
Okay, go. Best use of a treadmill. See if they want yours.
Yes.
Ray Manzarek from The Doors.
Mm-hmm. Peter Cetera, which is from Chicago, so that doesn't count.
He did something solo that sounded just like Chicago, so it's impossible to tell them apart.
Plain White Tees.
No. Fuck that band, and fuck Delilah while you're at it.
Depends on what she looks like. Super chick.
Well, she sounds like Darth Vader, so that's a bad look. Sound.
Hey, there's...
I can't even do this.
Super Chick is a pop Christian punk band.
That would be a fantastic cover band for Super Chunk.
And what was the other super... oh, damn it. Super Joint Ritual.
Yeah. Pantera Jr.
Yeah, Phil Anselmo got a little bit strange in his that and Down.
Sorry, what?
Ooh,
My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult.
I just looked at that.
Dude,
great.
Have you heard of them?
I haven't.
In case Ministry is too light for you, check them out.
Oh,
that
cool.
That will make the neighbors complain.
Oh, they haven't yet. So
all right, I stop now.
Pelican.
That's another awesome instrumental band. All right, so half these hacks I recognize are instrumentals. Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind, and Fire, also that's another industrial one.
Industrial, yeah.
I was like, yep, I recognize a lot of these from my pretending to be tougher 20s.
The Fruit Bats.
It's like, in case KMFDM's too light. Oh, Danny boy, we're another band on this list.
Stabbing Westward? Awesome.
Nice.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, that band was amazing until he got happy. Who is he, Cake?
Yeah. Well, sorrow makes better music. That's why Shiny Happy People fucking sucks. And Losing My Religion is awesome. Uh,
1000 Homo DJs, one of the Ministry offshoots.
really,
It's like, that's a really funny name, though.
that's a great name. One of my favorite bands is from Chicago, and it's not on this list. Chevelle is from Chicago.
I'm surprised that wouldn't be on here.
I'm surprised that it's not also. But they are not.
There is more. Urge Overkill,
Rise Against.
the best Neil Diamond cover ever.
Yes. Rise Against. Styx.
Don't Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Disturbed. Now I'm on a different page.
Limp Wrist, Straight Edge, and Queen's Core. I'm very confused.
The Love Hammers.
The Ponies, Ralph's World, Benny Green. Never heard of any of
The
them.
the Tossers. If you don't know
that would be way funnier in England.
if you don't know what a tosser is, ask your favorite Englishman. Steve, look up some more. I gotta go check something real quick. Make sure.
Screeching Weasel.
Fuck, that's a great name.
That's the best band you've never heard of.
Screeching.
This is really funny. Like, man, I haven't heard some of these in a decade.
Be screeching, or just screeching weasel.
Screeching Weasel. Kill Hannah. Sorry, Mr. Farah. Shadowfax. Young Berg. Robin Harris. Oh, that's not the guy who hosted Lifestyles for Rich and Famous. Whoops.
Yeah, the AC still works.
Good.
Yeah, better.
There's a band called H.P. Lovecraft.
I love that shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Eat food and not drugs.
So speaking of things to check out when you're in Chicago, there is an offshoot there, and I think Ian is quite unhappy with the management there. They're 700 miles away trying to manage the shop, and they want to do more stuff, and he said, no, stick with the program.
Yeah.
Ian Svenonius, I thought that was a DC music guy.
Fingers
anyway, he's awesome.
Fingers Incorporated.
Fingers Incorporated.
Dwarves. Since 1985. This band looks like... Well, Steve, here's what dwarves look like.
Short people got no reason to live.
Well, look, all right, you got the bassist from I'm just going by what they look like, and then I'm going to show you the picture. The bassist...
This better be a bunch of Peter Dinklage.
The bassist from Queens of the Stone Age, a Geico caveman, Joe Pesci when he was 20, a combination of Andrew Dice Clay and Vince Neil, and then a guy wearing a fucking Mexican wrestling. Did I do okay with my description? Do we need to listen to some music by them?
Does it still qualify as music?
Okay, we're gonna do it.
All right, well,
yeah, we're gonna do it.
Here goes nothing.
The dwarves. The dwarves. Okay. Oh, what a great album covers. Holy shit! Yes. Punkorama. I like that.
That's way happier sounding than I expected.
That's pretty fucking cool, actually. Oh, here's the dwarves called Trailer Trash. Okay, I need to listen to more of this group. Steve, we've stumbled upon quite a bit of new stuff on this podcast, and I'm gotta say I'm pretty much enjoying it.
I'm really confused that one of the bands that popped up are the Amboy Dukes. Do you know whose band that was?
Please enlighten me.
You sure?
Yes.
The Nuge.
Oh, So the dwarves were formed in Chicago as the Suburban Nightmare.
I think that we're trying to become that now.
Oh my fucking god, no way. I was right.
Wait, our tribute band's going to be the Yukon XL Nightmare or the Escalade Nightmare.
No, the bassist is Nick Olivieri. It was the guy for
Hey!
I was right.
Nice.
By the way, the lead singer's name is Blag Dahlia. B-L-A-G.
Is that fort near Fayetteville?
Yeah, something like
Fort
that.
Blag.
And then he who cannot be named, Mark Diamond. Mark with a C.
Wait. Mars?
Yeah, Nick Olivieri.
Wait, the only Mark with a C that matters is Marin. Who
Yeah.
are you imposter?
Yeah, he who cannot be named was the guy with the fucking what's the name of that Mexican wrestling helmet thing?
You just showed me him.
Okay,
yeah.
What is that called? That's called something.
I don't know, like a luchador mask?
Mexican wrestling mask. Oh, there we go.
Loochdoo
Lucha Libre.
door mask. What do you mean spelling this wrong?
Lucha Libre. There we go.
I never saw that
A
Jack Black
luchador.
movie.
A luchador is a wrestler.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
cool. Well, so I was close, and I couldn't think of that a moment ago. I was talking about Salud Beer Bar.
Well, Mexican wrestler
brewery.
sounds like a sex move.
Ay, caramba.
There's a lot of cool shit from Chicago but I'm surprised Chevelle wasn't listed. I mean, they got like 8 fucking albums, and they've been playing together since '97. So that's kind
It'd
of
be a lot
surprising.
funnier if they've been playing. Yeah, there's been some iteration of this band since the Chevelle was in production.
Well, on his amplifier, he has a Chevelle diecast car.
Or
that
if
he
you
takes
want
with
the most difficult band to listen to ever is Shellac,
him.
Steve Albini's band.
Oh.
Because he produced a lot of stuff in the 90s, and his own band I am not a fan of. But we also have The Audition, pop punk, Yakuza, doom metal, fuck yeah, Numbers Doom, more doom metal, Tubring.
What? Tubring?
Tubring, number 202. This is why I've got a stockpile of magic erasers.
At first, I thought you said Tubbering.
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 No.
Tubbering.
The Waco brothers. Like
The Waco-
I sure hope that band started after 93.
I was going to change my my religious affiliation on Facebook to
Branch
Branch
Davidian.
Davidian.
David's 427. Go God. You know, I'll join you. The Lawrence Arms. Like, I didn't know my middle name had arms.
It does. SLN.
They are punk rock.
Yes.
Minsk, doom metal.
Minsk, yeah.
Lard, another Ministry offshoot, which Jelly Biafra was in that one. Dude, that, if you need the most fucked up thing to listen to, it's Lard.
Toby and I laughed our asses off one night. We were listening to fake metal genres. And I'm going to
I call this one Carbon.
I'm going to read some of these to you. What is Carbon? So, fake metal genres.
A Need for Speed game. Duh.
Other classic fake there. Okay. Weird. Here's weird metal genres, but we were looking at fake ones, and this is great. All right, so let's go to the weird metal.
We're
genres
playing
first.
Aluminium.
Oh, first is baby metal. You listened to them, haven't you?
I don't know what's going on here.
You've never listened to baby metal?
It looks like Kabuki metal.
Sounds sticky. Kawaii metals.
And the band Shrimp Boat number 225 isn't.
Please tell me a guy that looks like Forrest Gump is the leader.
It's gotta be. Formed in 87. I don't know when Winston Groom wrote that book because the movie came out in 94.
Please don't tell me unblack metal is Christian black metal.
Well, it's not like they could call it white metal. Or are they gallium?
Isn't Gallium that fucking weird hairless dude that said precious?
No, that was the house elf, Thomas Dobie.
Here we go. Worst metal subgenres.
Life, sex, and death.
Fuck yeah.
Race trader. From Zero. Acid horse. Sludgeworth.
Sludgeworth.
This train. Wax on radio.
I feel like Acid Horse should be Andy's band's name. All right, so Porno Grind.
Future with a PH. Sharkula. That's probably my favorite.
Are you still on the same?
Dude, it's pushing 300 right now.
Sharkula.
Ghosts and vodka. Kalen's in big trouble when I have this thing on Spotify later.
All right, so Porno Grind is
redundant.
Is trying to be as vile as possible, turning away potential fans by disgusting album covers.
Yep. Let's step it down a notch from Gaga Allen.
I mean, Cannibal Corpse sings about dead bodies, so why not have something 100% vile and completely different from the normal stuff? It's the techno of metal. Instead of ecstasy and lights, it's gore and debauchery. New metal's on there. Glam metal and crunk core. Horrible. It's a combination of crunk, screamo, emo. Horrible.
They can all be Monday's hero. Debris Incorporated.
All right,
the 90-Day Men. Well, in case 4 hours wasn't enough of a warning, there's this.
I'm going to lose my shit on here. Oh, my God. All right, so what is the most obscure band or genre of music you know? All you got to do is ask Reddit. Ruskaya is an awesome band. It is Russian turbo polka metal.
I think Ailstorm did that. It was that pirate metal.
Yes, there is pirate metal.
Baby Teeth.
Mongolian throat rap.
Buffalo Locomotive. Volcano! With an exclamation point. The Baldwin Brothers.
Nothing
Steve and Billy.
Future with a PH. Holy goddamn hell. Let's see here.
Shades of Fiction, how apt.
Very. There's an ambient genre called lowercase, where quiet sounds are amplified to extreme levels.
Alto Sparks. Emperor Penguin. Owls.
Steve Roden, a lowercase pioneer and coiner of the term, released a record called Forms of Paper, which is literally just an hour of him handling paper.
That's work.
Yes.
Oddly enough, this list ends at number 336, my area code of old school cell phone.
Very nice.
Whale Horse. That harkens back to my old trivia team name, the Narwhal Centaurs.
Evidently, Limp Wrist and Pansy Division were homocore bands as gay punk rock. And they also called it queercore. This is interesting.
Their words, not ours.
Yes. Homo Christmas is part of our annual Christmas mix.
And I think 1,000 Homo DJs is not. Actually, 1,000 Homo DJs did an awesome cover of Black Sabbath's Supernaut.
Interesting.
Because yesterday I was wearing my Black Sabbath shirt, which is my Tony Stark shirt. Aw, rest in peace, Avengers. I don't care.
We do not. We do not.
It's like everyone's going nuts about like, oh my god, it's going to be end of like Star Wars as we know it, and Game of Thrones and Avengers. Like,
good,
dude. Fuck everything. The last season of Archer starts in a month. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm so fucking... All right, so the new meme going around is, people who like CrossFit are just like people who don't... They want you to know they don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm like, no, it's way worse listening to everybody drone on about a fucking fake... About porno Shrek. It's more. There's more people droning on about the glorification of a TV show than there are people like us who don't like it. But it is funny to watch them get their knickers in a twist, isn't it?
Just for shits and giggles, I have been watching the this current season because hey, we have access to do such a thing.
Yeah.
I sure as hell am not going to catch up on it. Like, well, this is neat.
But
now it's seriously 2 boring episodes and one that made me have a heart attack. So there's that. I have no context. I have no stakes in the game. And spoiler alert, I'm glad the creepy gym teacher died.
Here it is. Here's the thread I was looking for. What is the funniest hypothetical subgenre of metal that you could possibly think of? I'd love symphonic porno grind or, or techno doom metal. Black glam metal. Kiss were close. They had the look. Damn it, that was deleted. Speed doom metal. Now with 2 beats per minute.
So, got an hour to burn? Let's go listen to Sleep's Dope Smoker.
Amish metal.
Bullshit. It's wood.
Slam death folk. It came up in casual conversation. I still intend to make an actual thing once I get my hand on some bagpipes or some shit. Suicidal depressive polka metal. Extreme Christian death grind. It gets way better. There's speed doom.
I think that's gonna be my Christian death metal band is gonna be named Splinters.
Bollywood black metal.
That was brown metal.
Black Nintendo grind.
That's never popped up on the Overclock remix.
Have you listened to Horse the Band?
A little bit.
National Socialist Power Metal.
Go on.
Fuck me. Industrial folk
I'm sorry.
metal.
I'm sorry. I'm an international socialist.
Industrial folk metal. That would be interesting. And then somebody's like, that just sounds like Slipknot meets Mr. Bungle.
That's going to be very difficult to listen to.
Funeral speed metal. New wave of Amish heavy acoustic metal. Reddit's undefeated.
Too bad nothing flows as well with new wave of British heavy metal. What is it? New album. What? New album.
Postmodern Christian Viking metal. This is what got me. I laughed so hard I cried. Post-ironic beardcore. Beardcore metal.
I think that's us here and now. Welcome to the Beardcore podcast. I'm your host, AJ. Here's Steve.
Circus core. Tubas, xylophones, and random elephant noises with cymbal crashes.
I think we have a winner.
Acapella porno Viking porno Viking. I'm not gonna be able to read. Black symphonic death drone metal.
When Amazon's delivery services go horribly wrong.
Polka crab core. Have you seen crab? Where they stand with their legs really wide, get really low, and just headbang. They call that crab core. I'm not fucking kidding. Sounds delicious.
Also, yes.
There's
no place to get crab legs around here, are there? Is there? It's like I suddenly want seafood.
Thrash folk.
Take out the H, then it's trash folks. Like, well, we are where we are.
Retrograde vegan grindcore progressive rock.
I bet you they do CrossFit.
Probably do. We got pirate metal, Viking metal. How about pilgrim metal? Turkeys with Indians slaughter redskins.
Dude, that first NFL game looks lit.
Black disco metal. Cinematic black and stoner grind.
Did you ever hear of the band 10 Masked Men?
No.
English heavy metal band that covers pop songs,
That sounds great.
growly as hell. Like Gray introduced me to them. It's like, hey, can you identify the song? Like, no, because it was Thriller.
Nice.
Probably the best one they covered is Britney Spears.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Cowboy Juggalo.
Baby, what's supposed to know?
Cowboy Juggalo metal. Grindabilly. Death Tech Fusion African Tribal Polka Core. Post-industrial, neo-pagan, socialist, jazz punk, slam, brutal, crap Nintendo core. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So, Steve, what is the weirdest band you've ever seen live?
Revolting Cocks opening for Ministry were pretty fabulous.
That's an interesting
That's
mix.
really a band, also another Ministry offshoot.
I have heard of the Cox. We talked about the Revolting Cox before. Because I think you said you let Kaylin listen to it. She was like, nah, I don't think I want to listen to this.
No, it was, oddly enough, it was, the Bloodhound Gang.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. I thought we didn't you take somebody to a concert or you let them listen to something by the Cox and they couldn't get into it?
Maybe.
Well, I think the weirdest band I saw live was Dillinger Escape Plan. But only because like everybody on the stage was bleeding after they were done. They opened for Soundgarden and Nine Inch Nails. So it was not the crowd.
That show back
25
years ago? Yeah, because I think it was right after I got the Ponyota.
I think it was. It was right before Emily's diagnosis too. It was in August. We went for her birthday, and because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, because it's this fucking concert.
Same reason she gets me cooking stuff for Christmas and birthday because she benefits from it also. So
is this the Jeselnik joke all over again? So it's Christmas. My girlfriend's gonna get me a picture frame, so I'm gonna get her an Xbox.
I love Jeselnik. You know, when they asked me to be here, I told the promoter to suck my dick, and now I'm here. He has the greatest. He has the greatest jokes. We should go see him next time he comes through. Him and Segura. I'd love to go see Bill Burr. Wouldn't mind even going to see Joe Rogan.
I mean, based on the one time I saw him, it's not going to be a show of his unless some idiot spills their drink on me and or my date. So there's that.
Still throwing around.
So
stand-up.
don't wear a white shirt, okay?
This is prosthetic limb
Yeah.
beige, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, la, 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 la. He's dead now.
All his kids were stillborn.
Goodness.
Yeah, for real. That was on Family Guy because they did the Trollolo guy, and he did, and they were like, "Man, you wouldn't judge by all that cheerful singing that all his kids were born stillborn."
Is that before or after the song?
I don't know. Oh, that one's out. Steve, we need more booze.
Good, because I just got news that
You got news that
Raspberry Pi number 11 may be busted, but it might be user error.
Oh,
Hey, there's two of those.
so let's enjoy them together
Yay! I need to
with honey added.
take 2 for 1.
All right, you do that. I'll keep the
one-
people entertained.
Apparently, the 11th Raspberry Pi build may be busted, but maybe it's user error. So we're gonna figure this out. Oh, hey, Eric.
Well, while Steve is doing that, I will tell everybody that we got some shows coming up. I'm thinking about getting a stand-up routine ready and going to try out some open mics because I figure the more seeds I sow, the less likely I'll have to be a slave to corporate America for the rest of my life. And I got to be honest, that sounds pretty appealing, to kind of do my own thing and do what I want to do instead of, playing nice with people I don't particularly like. And because I'm about 2 or 3 missed doses of medication away from telling everybody at work just how I feel about them. I'll be honest with you, though. There's 2 of them I just can't stand, and then 2 I would not move them out of the way of an oncoming bus, and then the others I could take them or leave them. If they would just get rid of those certain people, it would be fine. But when you work for the world's nicest person who doesn't like conflict, then you can just kind of do whatever you want. So I'm kind of tired of that. So I think I'm just gonna keep sowing these seeds of maybe doing stand-up, keeping on doing music, originals and cover shows, and doing this podcast. And I haven't told Steve, but we went live on the audiobook. Everything got approved. Mm-hmm. It went through final editing, and there were no errors. Ha! Way to go, me producing.
Cool.
And so it's live, and that book is called "Don't Know What the Hell You're Doing with Your Life." And it's
I don't need a book to tell me that.
Narrated by Jess Alps, produced by me, written by Tanika Reed. You can get it anywhere you get your e-readers or audiobooks, and it is $14.95. So pick it up so I can get some commission, because I need it after having to spend all that fucking money on an air conditioning system. So, Steve, we are drinking something you brought this time. I brought the first 2. I had them here. I live here.
And this is the next best thing to having them already been here from the Lucky Reality Audi. The Independence Harbor Amber Ale.
I love the slogan at the bottom.
Ale with honey added. Forget the tea, drink the ale. I think it was like 4th of July at Brad's years ago I first got this.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah. It's a lot more honey forward than you would think. Oh, I'm just drinking it out of the bottle since we're not sharing it.
I have a glass, so I use it.
Faux pas metal. Well, it is a lot more honey forward. And you know what's bothering me about? You can tell this is a cheap beer. Look at the bottom label. Look at the top, and look how far off the wait, yours is different. Let me see. All right, turn it around. No, it's off center. See, that's off center to that.
Yeah.
It's still good though.
They say don't judge a book by its cover. See also beer label. Like it'd been a while, but for cookout I figured I'd get something that's not industrial strength IPA. By golly, that's still good.
And this is from, you said Aldi?
Yeah.
To shreds, you say. Where is this made? Rochester, New York. Hey, Kaylin. Is that
I think that's the dead opposite side of the state from Saratoga and Albany.
Albany's like due north, right?
That's on the central eastern part, so it still puts about 3 hours from city.
Okay.
But I think Rochester's central west, wherever I'm standing versus the microphone.
I don't do well with the New York geography because I've never been to the state. But you guys are going up there to visit in the fairly near future?
We're going to be going to Rhode Island in September, where her brother is.
Gotcha.
As that story goes, they're all from Saratoga, and when her dad's job transferred, her brother was already in college in New York City, and she and her sister and folks moved down to Charlotte. So it's kind of a matter of either he takes this job or he's no longer with Husqvarna.
That makes it an
kind
easy
of hard
decision.
Yeah, which is and also real damn tough to do with daughters that were entering 10th and 11th grade. So they had a lot of fun going to Vance to finish out their high school years.
And there's
That was, at least at the time that school was new, and since then it's gone way downhill, as I recall.
there are worse. There's worse schools to go to in this area, though.
Also, yes.
Lots of gang and violence, but I was from the sticks, so I got to go to a sticks school. Funny enough, though, I went to school with every black kid because they all went to Oakboro. So I went to high school, and by the way, Steve and I are not that old, guys. But it's funny to think that I entered high school as a freshman in 2000 with five other.
Year I graduated.
With 5 other feeder schools where none of them went to school with any black kids in 2000 until they went to high school. That is crazy to think of now. I went to school, but the thing, it shouldn't be weird for them to go, and I'm sure it probably wasn't for most of them. But could you imagine just not having any interaction, and then I can't fathom in the year 2000 that was a thing.
And be with that since elementary school.
Yes.
That one of my best friends growing up was Afro-American and another was Asian that always wanted to see my watch. Harris, wherever you are, I have another new one.
Well, that's why diversity is important. That's why, because if you only hang out with only white people, do you have any idea how boring your life is gonna fucking be? Because white people by nature are pretty, maybe not boring, but we certainly don't have a lot of flavor.
I gotta say, I keep seeing these things pop up, like shit white people will say.
Yep.
But damn, guilty of a few of those.
Yep. Or on
they're bringing the check out. Let's see what the damage is.
I've never done that. And after today, I will continue to never do that. On Jesselnick on Joe Rogan, he was like, I hate men's rights activists, and Jesselnick was like, that's a thing. And Joe,
what rock you been living under?
Joe's like, yeah, he's like, dude, I want to just get them all together and go, hey guys, guess what? We've got them all. We got them all already. You don't have to fight for it. You got every one of them.
You gotta fight for your right to be a dickbag.
Exactly.
No, by the way, don't.
This is the old CK bit. You know how easy it is to be white and male? I can go back at any point in time, in any location, and I'm not going to get killed. And it's true. If you're a white male, you're not in danger of anything, really. Shut the entire fuck up. The George Carlin bit, we're on comedian bit now, but white people singing the blues. What the fuck is up with that? What do white people have to be blue about? Did Banana Republic run out of khakis? I miss George. George comes up a lot in this, but he looks like my dad, so. By the way, the house sold for your dad, so that's good.
I said it was under contract, but it wasn't finalized, unless you know something I don't.
I don't.
Okay.
I secretly bought it.
Why? Do you want less space for the same money? Do you want another oppressive HOA?
You know.
But just how badly do you want to be the youngest people in the block? By the way, it is close to where 201 Central was. Bad news, that place closed a couple years ago. So that's not even a selling point, dude.
Good news is it's a new food line now. It'll be open next month.
It's still okay. That's all. It's all in construction. Oh wait, it's now been a month since I've been there because it was the end of March that we finished moving stuff out and pilfering stuff out of it. I was not expecting to get a TV, a computer, a dining set out of it. It was a generous load of crap that I acquired from that.
Thomas's father-in-law is anyway. It's off mic. Keeps bringing stuff down from West Virginia to give to them, and he has quite literally burned 3/4 of it in his fire pit out back.
Well, considering the dress, does it need to add Christmas candies to the mix?
Perhaps. Perhaps. And also, he's in the city limits of Charlotte now, as is my store since they moved him. So he best be careful about burning too big a fire, because if somebody sees that, the city folk don't take too kindly to it.
It's close enough to the sticks, though.
It's a very windy frisbee throw from being in the country, but
Not nearly as remote as my joint is, but hey, what can you do?
speaking of vehicles and stuff, Yamaha actually made the engine to the original Ford Taurus SHO.
Uh-huh.
And yours, but I can't think of any other engine they made besides motorcycle engines.
If only we had answer boxes in front of us.
We could do that, or we can do...
Like, guess wrongly.
Well, we're running out of countries to do 3-car garage in, because we got Korea left. And I can't think of 3 Korean cars that I want, like, really want. We've done Japan. We've done Great Britain. We did Germany. We did England. We did the U.S., we do Sweden. How many Volvos and Saabs do you want? Or we do Koenigsegg's there too. So a Volvo, a Saab, and a Koenigsegg. What about a Koenigsegg swap Volvo brick wagon? That'd be cool as fuck.
Just was thinking, like, I could totally go for a clone of the Paul Newman car that was the 302 swapped Volvo 740 wagon.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I want the wagon version of my first car with more power.
Do you remember the Cars and Coffee, the beige Volvo 2-door that had the 5.0 in it? The V8?
Yeah, the Cars
now
and
it's an
Coffee one.
LS. He swapped the 302 out, and it's an LS now.
Yeah, for what it's worth, that's not a bad call.
Yeah, the LS is a better engine than the 302.
Well, the thing is, the 302 is so long in the tooth. Like, it... Yes, it's more powerful than the 4-banger would have been in it, but now we're 25 years removed from the 302 being in production.
Yeah.
Well, you saw Count Lassie was in town, right?
Yes.
Did you catch wind of what he's looking to do?
No, is it a brilliant or stupid idea?
Brilliant.
New Mustang?
At least parting with the old one.
Good.
He wants old one gone and eventually a new one, and
Convertible, probably.
don't even know that. But seeing as I hadn't seen the top down on that car in forever, but at least the old one is up for sale. So if anybody wants a 94 Mustang GT with 450,000 miles on the body and maybe 150, 200 on the current engine, we could be in touch.
How much is he asking for that?
I don't even know. Is this apparently there's a guy like the car has been living at his parents' place in Advance for a while. His new house is practically Clemens, so all west side of Winston-Salem for what it's worth. Like guys been driving by, like inquiring about the car, and kind of find like, fuck it,
Yeah.
sell it. Like it's not like he's hurting for money.
It's just, for real.
It's just it became more project than car, and I asked Caitlin, do you ever see that car? I was like, I think once at Brick South Park he had it, and then afterwards he's had the beige Camry forever and a day.
With the pink paint on the
Yeah,
Mustang.
it is 4 different shades of red.
Mm-hmm. That generation of Mustang, looking back, 215 horsepower out of a 4.6 liter V8 is hilariously anemic.
That one is the next to last year of the 5.0.
Yep, 95
which
was the last year.
I
And the
think a
weird
little bit more
taillights.
power.
Well, also the Mustang always had the 3 vertical taillights, and then for some fucking reason, when they redesigned,
Mm-hmm.
it was horizontal. And then in 96, they went right back to the vertical taillights because that's what a Mustang is. That's why people
and then about the year 2000 started, and then people put Altezza-style taillights on them.
Gross. You know what those look
I kept
good
thinking,
on?
Altezza's?
Yes.
And even then, it looks better putting something that's not that style on it. Like, I wanted to like those cars. Well, they remain fairly expensive, and despite being 3 Series sized, apparently they're bad on fuel mileage. That's important because I drive a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not driving the miniature Aztec for its good looks, folks. I'm still creeping 30 miles a gallon out of that car.
Well, our dearly departed friend, Mr. Levi Tucker, his girlfriend had an IS, and I think it was an 01 or 02, but she lost the keys to it. Something stupid, okay? Now, you can't just get a key made. Like, he had
It had to be a laser cut double-sided thing, right?
Uh-huh. $160 for new keys. Fuck that.
Yeah, I got spares made for mine for $2 a pop.
Yep.
Because it is plain Jane Toyota key.
Yep.
Double-sided, bunch of nonsense. Although it's funny, like, well, I'm pretty sure these were half-assed because one key worked one way, the other key worked the other way, but, like, despite being double-sided, I couldn't flip the key over and then put it in and make it work. Like, well, that could possibly throw a thief off for 2 seconds.
I don't know what manner of horrible life my Maxima had before I bought it, but I do know that the Conquest key would start it. It would.
Wow. Among other quabbles with that automobile.
Well, you could start it with the Maxima key. You could turn it, start it, and then take the keys out of the ignition, and it would just keep running. Just keep very happily running. And then to turn it off, put the key back in, turn the fucking car off.
Colin's first car was his granddad's 85 Buick Century with the keyhole that had the wings on it. So you could put the key in, start the car, and then take the key out.
Mm-hmm.
But since this was a keyhole in 3 dimensions, you didn't even need the key to stop it. You just turn the wings over and it would cut the car off.
The Jeep has the wings on it. The Jeep has key wings.
8. Well, yeah, it was a 2-tone brown with floor-mounted automatic and a pop-up sunroof.
Hell yes.
For being an 85 Century, it was cooler than it needed to be.
I miss a good, honest car because it doesn't exist. It can't exist anymore.
It's some means of conveyance that you and your 10 airbags go around in.
Even like the new Mirage has tires that are this wide.
Dude, the BMW i3 called, it's envious of your ski poles.
That's a hateful.
The cheapest thing on the market, and yes, on purpose. Like, Mitsubishi's fallen real far from where it had been.
72. Yeah, I like the 90s Mirage.
This tiny Civic knockoff, sure.
Yeah. Now, it's an appliance.
I think we call that a penalty box.
I'd rather be in a penalty box with a big, sweaty, hairy, toothless hockey man. The tire sizes are hilarious. Have you seen the tire sizes? I don't remember what they are.
What do you want, a 155/80/13 on it?
Those are lawnmower tires. Go-kart tires at best. This is hilarious.
I think that cart's going to have much go.
In a curve, like, watching that would be painful.
Oh, that'd be incredible to see, like, a slow-motion video of, like, car in turn. Like, what ripples in the sidewall are incurred along the way. Like, it's going to flip! Like, oh, wait, it doesn't weigh enough to flip.
How many of those tires would it take to mount on one Viper rear wheel?
Considering the way the tires mount up, you're going to need to do a little extra alchemy in there. At least
metal variety.
Just don't care. Not an anime. Sorry, Mac. Why is this robot talking like a child?
Yes. Why do I want to watch animated porn when the real stuff does more for me? Well, that's hentai, right? Anime is just regular.
What you want, hentai or rooster tie?
Cock tie.
Woo!
Like your food, like your shirt.
So, yeah, while you're in Chicago, go to Box Bets, assuming that Ian hasn't fired them yet.
I'll go and I'll reopen it.
Cool.
Hey, I'll pay X amount to go up there and open a restaurant. Let me see if I like the city first.
Yeah. That opened up, and it's been strange.
Well, I mean, it's...
And meanwhile, they opened up a new location in Mount Pleasant, which apparently is a very difficult thing to do. South Carolina, not North Carolina. Right. Otherwise, like, we can go there now.
Yeah, you could open a restaurant tomorrow there. Yeah. But
apparently, was it 73 Main's good in Mount Pleasant, this state?
Heard of it. Matt Lemon lives in South Carolina, Mount Pleasant now, working at Publix, but he's finally in Charleston proper, since that's where they told him he would be a year ago anyway.
It's a strange course of events.
Yes, it was. I sent him some more business cards, which I meant to order more of today, and I forgot.
Some shit I designed a long time ago. And somewhere I have like a case, like I don't know, about a 1x2 divided panel thing of keyboard keys.
Yes.
That were what caused the Analog Crash logo to happen.
As much as I would love Mexican food, I'm also in the mood because it's a podcast for wings. So you got Dunwell's right there.
If Kay's unexpected me home today, and she didn't care for Dunwell's and I do, works for me.
True. But I also can't turn down Mexican food. The thing is, last time Thomas and I went...
I don't even care I had chicken earlier. I want chicken wings all the time.
Fair enough. But it's not wing night. They are cheaper on Mondays and Thursdays.
I got my tax refund back. Let's order a bunch of raspberry pies. Give me some chicken wings.
Well, I spent quite a bit today. And unfortunately, my card got charged twice for $6,870. For those of you keeping score at home, yes, that is over $13,000. I did call the bank, and I called Anderson. And Anderson's like, yeah, we only ran it once, so you might want to call your bank. And then I called the bank. They were like, yeah, the first time it got declined because the guy put your wife's name instead of your name from the payment. He says, so it's going to show up.
I'm the one that's here, motherfucker.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
So he said, he said it's going to show up as two charges, but he said it's clearly only going to be one charge. So he goes, you check back tomorrow. If it's not, call us. I was like, okay. I was like, because if that number were 3 digits, it wouldn't bother me. Since it's 4 digits, I figure I would call you guys and ask. Because I don't want to have to go down there with this power glove and fuck shit up. Because I will do it.
Now I'm so curious what covered in blood.
Well, we can... we were kind of... Thomas and I went to Dunwell's, and we were a little bit disappointed in the wings last time. They weren't as good as they usually were. Because you know me, I like a lot of sauce, and he does too. There wasn't much sauce on there, and there wasn't much flavor. But
that's what happens when you get the dry rub.
That's fine,
wings,
as long as there's enough seasoning on it. Yeah, any kind of other dry rub doesn't sound very good.
A long time that's Trip-to-Boon.
It's too bad D.D. Peckers doesn't open another location closer. Why you gotta be on the moon, Mr. D.D.? I still don't know his name. Nothing happens when you die.
Thanks.
Well, Steve, I'm pretty hungry. You?
It's on the M.
Cool beans. Well, I think we can call this episode. That's one of the shortest ones we've done. I'm okay with that.
Well,
yeah.
You've been AJ.
You've been Steve.
Toodles.
Later.